Topsail Island. Heidi, what are you seeing on the ground? How do the waves look? What are you seeing there right now?
Hey Elizabeth, well I'll mention it just started to rain for the first time since we got here, which was a couple of days ago. Just a few droplets coming down. In a lot of ways, it's still a nice beach day out here. Take a look. You've got lots of people out here on North Topsail Beach, even though those raindrops have just started to get down. But here's the message we've been sharing with people. Do not get in the water. Even though it might look nice, it's quite hot out here, there is still a very high risk of rip currents. And even just standing here for about the last hour or so, right down on the beach, we've noticed some of those waves getting a little bit bigger. The surf is clearly a little bit choppy. There is a lot going on here. We've been monitoring the conditions for about the last day or so, and I've noticed it getting a little bit stronger, especially now that the rain is coming down here.
And Heidi, water rescues are a major concern amid high risk of rip currents. What are local officials telling you about that threat?
Well, Elizabeth, they are a major concern. We actually started our day yesterday in Wrightsville Beach. Yesterday there were 15 water rescues completely tied to those rip currents. The day before that, get this, there were between 60 and 70 water rescues. So even though it might look nice out there, you might think you can handle it, the surf is extremely choppy and those rip currents are a huge risk. So the big message from local officials that we've spoken with is just don't get in the water. Even though it might seem fun, it is certainly not.
And Heidi, storm surge is another big concern. Are you seeing any kind of flooding, any overwash in your areas to be concerned about?
Well, right now where we're standing, we aren't seeing any of that. But here's what's interesting. We actually spoke to someone who lives in the condos behind me who said last night the water rose all the way up here. I'm going to show you kind of what they have in place to hopefully prevent some of that overwash and beach erosion. They've got the sandbags all set up here. That is supposed to prevent the water breaking through the dunes and making it all the way up to the condos behind here. So far today, we have not seen that. But of course, high tide is still coming up. And in some of those images that we've been sent by some of the people that have been standing by, we do know how high it can get. But the biggest concern here is it breaching these dunes. And in Hurricane Erin, we're not expecting it to get that bad. A lot of people staying in these condos say, we're going to stay put. The man that we spoke with says this is not even close to as concerned he's been in other storms. They're grateful for the sandbags and the fact that we haven't seen that surf get as high as it could be at this point.
Heidi, beach erosion is something that many people are keeping their eye on as the surf grows. What are you seeing right now?
Definitely. So we've been checking out multiple areas up and down the coastline. Again, starting in Wrightsville Beach, we made it to Wilmington. Now we're here, and I want to show you the spot that we've actually seen be the worst. If you take a look here, you'll see that the dunes are quite eroded in the area where we're standing right now. In this area, it is certainly a big concern, and local officials have told us that they're constantly monitoring the dunes, notifying people about the areas that are the worst and where there could be some of that breakthrough here. So it's definitely something that's on the minds of many local officials, especially during hurricane season. They actually told me here in North Topsail Beach, the town manager to be specific, that they did an entire survey of this coastline so that they kind of have a metric for how much of those dunes get eaten up during hurricane season. So at this point, they say Hurricane Erin isn't the worst type of threat that it could be, but they're definitely still monitoring it and making sure that some of those problem areas where beach nourishment hasn't been successful or some of the beach has been eaten away in the last few storms, they want to make sure that those areas are reinforced heading into hurricane season, and that's what they've done so far.
Heidi, is there anything else that you're watching out for, paying attention for as the storm continues to move today?
Well, the thing that concerns me the most is those water rescues. A couple of days ago, again, 60 to 70 on Wrightsville Beach. That is a super high number. And lots of people, again, still out here on the beach. I'll again have my photographer show you. Lots of people out here, lots of people out in the water even, some people risking it a little bit. But the thing is, those rip currents can sneak up on you. So local officials have been preaching it for days on end. In fact, where we are in North Topsail Beach, some of the county managed beach accesses have been closed for that very reason, but obviously there's still plenty of areas like where we're standing where the beach access is open. People want to get in the water because it's hot. When the sun's out, it seems like a perfect day to get into the water, but you shouldn't do it. You really should stay out of there because of that high chance of rip current. So that's going to be the thing that we're watching. And of course, the beach erosion as well. It's, again, a threat that they face all year round, but especially during hurricane season.
All right, Heidi, thank you so much, and stay safe out there as you continue your reporting. Again,